This is our first outing of 2021, where we are going to go do a follow-up on a sighting that took place a couple years ago. But why we're going out today is because just a week and a half ago, there was audio recordings that got sent into us, and that's how the initial report got filed as well, is with these audio recordings. And it is very similar to some audio that we have heard come out of other parts of the country, as well as some of the stuff that we've heard in person at some of our other research sites. The witness is a Marine veteran.
So we're going to go out, document it, see what we find. At least, get the story, save the story.
Yeah.
And put it into the archives. The witness agreed to take us to the area where she had her sighting several years before. This is only a few miles from where the strange sounds were recorded. This is her story in her own words.
I heard something to my left of me, and I turned my head and I seen like a movement. And when I did, there was a humongous bipedal creature, massive. It was the scariest thing that I think I've ever seen in my life. And for 5 seconds, I couldn't move. It was like I got stuck. My eyes just got stuck, and I couldn't breathe. I couldn't move, and it was like we were eye contact for it felt like forever.
With Joe now standing where the creature was seen several years before, it's easy for us to get an idea of how big this thing actually was.
So how much taller than me was it?
It was a lot taller than you. A lot taller.
I'm gonna put my hand up.
Right, a little bit further. He was big, about right there.
Not right here?
Yeah, he was huge because he took up a lot of the.
7.5 feet. Probably about 4.5 feet long.
Yeah, he looked, about half, almost the size of a back truck bed. And
4.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet tall. Those dimensions sound a lot like whatever it was that we had seen last fall. We're still unsure what that was, but with this rain today, we might be in luck. There could be some traces left behind from whatever made that sound a few weeks ago.
So we just went out to the initial sighting location that took place 2 years ago, and we did a quick recreation just to gather the size and location and distance. What she saw was roughly around 7.5 feet tall, standing on a steep incline, and there were very wide game trails. Where something wider than me has been routinely using those game trails for a very long time because they were really, really worked over and worked down. So basically what I'm saying is I'm liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, well, it's remote enough, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
So now we're going to go to a second area, right?
Yeah, we're going to this pond and a spring where there hasn't been any activity around the pond and the spring. She just says it's real weird. It's got a weird feeling around it. But
that's a good place right now with this weather.
Yeah.
To look for tracks.
Absolutely, because something is going to need water.
It's going to need water.
And if there's a fresh spring that's feeding this pond, there's a good chance that whatever is living in this area is visiting the pond, or will also be visiting that fresh spring where it comes out of the water.
I agree, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, something big is walking through here.
See any definition like right out there. It's a problem with West Virginia right here.
Yeah.
Like that. Back to this one. See anything else?
What's in here?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Listen, you will catch it.
Yes, it is. Nothing on it. It's pretty clean, right? Hold up. Where we at? Oh, wow. old, you think?
I mean, this one's days old,
Yeah,
easy,
yeah.
because the greenery's
Yeah, that's
rebounded.
what I'm saying. Impressions in the grass might seem exciting, but we need more.
You got toes.
Clear defined toes are something we always look for, but all too often they turn out to be something entirely different. Did we actually find toes?
I got.
Now we have done this several times, and it be like, something like that.
Yeah, once we pull it out, we
But
read.
boy, that's deep.
This is a bear.
It's a bear.
It is a bear.
Bear.
Yep. See the V shape?
So that's
Right here.
Okay.
So this is a small bear. So what we're looking at here in a bear footprint, this looks like humanoid because of the shape of it, but it's actually a bear double step. See how we have this nice V channeling right here? That is the rear foot of a bear. A bear's rear foot pad has a V shape. So what it will do is its front foot will come in, step here, and then it steps again right here, actually. And then the back foot will come back up and step almost, like here's the front foot right here. The back foot comes in on the same side and will step down right here. So it's like boom, boom. And what that does is it'll create an artificial mid-tarsal break in some point. In certain footprints, you'll see an artificial mid-tarsal break, or is what we interpret as a mid-tarsal break anyway.
As researchers, we're looking for mid-tarsal breaks, good toes. These are the signs that it may be something a little more than human that's out there walking around. Such data can help us figure out the size and weight of whatever it is, and possibly rule out any human hoaxes or pranks.
So we were just up there doing the recreation where the sighting took place, and we came down here to where this stream and everything's at. We've actually had a lot of activity that takes place right around vernal pools. It's actually where John Tenney's account took place, and he was coming up to a spot very similar to this on the other side of the state. And as you can see, there's actually grass and things like that that are growing underneath the water that you would normally not see underwater. And it's because this pool is temporary. It fills up, it floods up, salamanders and frogs will come in here and breed and lay their eggs. As the water evaporates and goes down, all the critters that are born in here will migrate over there. It's otherworldly. I love it.
This area definitely had a weird feel to it. The witness explained to me why this area made her so nervous. Still, she agreed to press on.
There's a lot of stuff that grows up here, water, animals. I mean, what animal wouldn't want to come up here and have a good dinner?
Sure.
I mean, it's a perfect place.
So that's what makes you
yeah,
nervous,
it makes me
right?
nervous because I know that if I were an animal,
This is
I,
where
this
you
is
would
where
go,
I would
right?
be.
Well, we got our work cut out.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome to the deciphering part.
Tons of depressions.
Yeah. I don't know what they
I
are.
don't know what they are, but there's tons of
Swamp.
depressions.
There's a big left foot.
No.
Gosh, this is a Wineberry thicket.
Yeah, they used to get them up from here.
Look at this. This is a whole Wineberry thicket.
We were definitely in the right place. There was food, water, everything anyone could want to survive was here in this one place. More than enough sustenance for a large creature.
What are you thinking about that? I'll tell you what I'm thinking about. I think it's there, but I also think that there's that piece of wood right there.
Yeah, they're shaping it out.
Yep. I think we should be looking at pareidolia.
Because we leave that and it's gone in.
It's gone. Yeah.
Pareidolia is when the mind creates recognizable patterns from random ones. This fools a lot of researchers. But what happened next? That wasn't pareidolia.
Water filter.
Oh
Catching out
yeah,
sediment.
that could be. What was that?
We heard what sounded like a sharp knock and a fall coming from the wood line directly above us.
It was a knocking and a fall.
It was.
Here it is, enhanced a little bit so you can hear it a little better. Listen closely. When the witness speaks, you will hear 2 rapid pops. That is the sound.
Oh
Catching out
yeah,
sediment.
that could be. What was that? What was that?
Did you catch it? We have no idea what it was. We hung around the area for a little bit, but nothing ever repeated while we were there.
We had a knock, and I took off across the creek to see if we could hear anything or see anything move. But it was a pretty loud knock. I'm pretty sure we actually even caught it on the recorder. I did find this female eastern box turtle. It's been hollowed out and eaten.
Something made it. didn't it?
Something made it, and it was broken into here.
Made the bottoms of carbs
So this
and
was
ripped it open.
this was actually broken into, not chewed on. So this is busted open manually.
What's your gut telling you on this?
My gut on this is
Since we
telling
found
me,
the bear and whatnot, what do you?
since we found the bear, and you can see there's four-wheeler tracks. I'm thinking that somebody crossed this, because I mean this is hard pack. I mean this isn't budging at all. Like, so I mean you're talking something over 1,000 pounds to make the kind of depression that we'd find here,
Yeah.
and it would be, we would see it.
It would be noticeable all the way through here.
There'd be a whole trackway. So I'm calling this nothing.
Okay.
And we're gonna go back though, and we're gonna take a look in the mud.
Yeah.
Right around the truck. All right, so we are actually on the walk back to the truck from where we heard that knock, and we just heard something really big move through a thicket. And when I say really big, we heard it from probably about 120 yards away.
Or at least.
So
It's on that ridge line.
there's something on that ridge,
And it came
and
this
it's big.
way.
It's big.
Yeah, whatever it is, it came that way.
Bears don't knock,
Unless it got smart.
unless I got smart.
You know.
But that's I like it. That's fun.
It's promising.
Yeah. So do you feel better about coming up here now that you've been up here with us?
Yeah.
Even though there is activity up here, you know, there is something here. What it is, I can't say. Do you feel better at least now,
I do.
knowing that, you know, you can come up here and be safe and not be too worried?
I really do. It's like we all birthed that unofficial walking bond that scared feeling that I had walking up here. And honestly, it makes me feel good that other people know we're not alone. And we just, there's things that people don't understand.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're feeling comfortable coming out
Yes.
here. That's one of the main reasons we do what we do.
One of the things that we do as researchers is to try to collect data, but we also try to make it clear to these experiencers that they are not alone, that there are people who have had similar experiences. And we are here to help tell their story, no matter how wild and weird it may seem.
We have ground cherries in this area. There's a whole bunch of ground cherries.
Just a few yards from where all this potential food source is, Joe makes an actual discovery that changes the course of this investigation.
Okay, so we actually found a footprint. Pretty happy about it. It looks like 5 defined toes, and we're going to try to capture it. And we go all the way back into the hills. So I'm going to start pouring. We're going to mix our hydrocal right now.
Was this really it? Did we really find what we were looking for? In around 40 minutes, we would know if we had toes or not. Now all we'd have to do would be to get it out of the ground.
All right, so we've now let the plaster dry for about 45 minutes, and we are going to perform the extraction next. Making sure not to, you know, damage it.
Ripping the roots.
We got it.
We got it.
We got it.
Oh.
We got it. And there's a big old toe. I can see it already. We're gonna have to clean this bad boy off. But by God, if we don't have a toe that's already peeking through, that makes me happy.
That was worth it, huh?
Oh,
Look at that.
we got a big toe breaking through, man.
So we found the toes, and we got it. And we got it out of the ground. Now there was just one more thing to do before we headed out.
is a toe. That
Oh my
is a
gosh.
toe. So we're back. It's the day after.
Roughly 24 hours.
Yeah, since we got home.
Yep.
We have cleaned up the cast.
Yep.
It dried sufficiently.
Yep.
We got all the mud off of it. And
There it
there's
is,
toes.
right?
We have toes.
We have toes. Okay.
We have toes.
All right, so let's
they're
see.
not the prettiest toes in the world.
Okay.
But we have toes. And when you see the cast beside the picture,
Yeah.
it is a dead ringer. Like
Okay.
it's obvious.
Okay, let's see it. Convince me.
So
Show me.
let's take a look.
All right, let's look at it.
So here we are. This is the cast. You can see the toes. The big toe is probably the clearest. And you can see how big this is. I mean, you're looking at something that's 2 inches long by 1.5 inches wide on the first big toe. You have a separation here. There's another toe, followed by another toe, followed by another toe, followed by the last toe. And then the ridge of the foot goes this way. This was over pour. So that way,
you could get it out of the ground. Right?
yeah, this was where this is where I shoved my hands down underneath it. You'll see that in the video where this is the corner that I used for leverage to wedge everything out.
Right.
And the ridge of the foot runs this way. Now, what was really interesting was in the picture, you can actually see where this grass is at.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was under mud. And there's also more grass that was under the mud that was in the picture. So my assumption is whatever was walking through there actually picked up mud on its feet.
Muddy feet.
It had muddy feet. Because that area, you saw it. I mean,
Yeah, it's mud.
it was just all muddy. And they were trying to plant grass back in it. So we had those other prints that were indescript that were roughly the same size as this.
Yeah.
And this right here, we lost this. This would have been awesome to get the ball of that foot. But there was just a big tuft of grass. You can see the roots there, and it just kind of destroyed that portion. But we did get the toes.
We did get the toes.
And that's the important part.
I would call these toes. I mean, you've convinced me here. This is, I said we needed toes, and I think we found toes.
Right?
We got a nice big one here. You got that, look at these separation between these.
Yeah.
Little, this, in conjunction with the actual photo.
Yeah.
That looks like what I would expect.
Because you can see in the picture, you can see the 4 big puddles of water. And then here's the 5th toe here. Just rounded out, and it was just barely an impression there. But the ground was just a weird consistency. You had new grass growing up that had hay backing underneath it, and then there was mud and the creek running through. So I mean, we were really lucky to get what we got.
We were very lucky to get what we got in that condition. So.
And this is in a location that audio recordings were pulled from just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, which we got to look at it for what it is. That's pretty substantial.
It is.
In my opinion, it's pretty substantial.
It's pretty, whatever this was that left this track was big, whatever it was.